students, we have completed up till starting from chapter 1 to chapter 4. The syllabus have been completed. So now I will be taking your chapter 5, that is data handling. So data handling you have learned from your class 5th, I think from 4th onwards, the way how to represent the data. So new ideas, new concepts, again in every class you learn it, implement it, do it. So in this chapter also some little new concepts they have been added that we have to study. And these concepts are useful for higher classes also. So here chapter 5, if I tell you data handling, the chapter name is, you know what is data? Data is the collection of information. Now how you represent the data, there are many ways what you know on what you have studied. So you represent the data by pictograph. You have learned from class 4th onwards. The data what you are representing is in the form of pictures. You will be given one scale. According to that, you have to represent the data. So picto means pictures. So you are representing the data using pictures. Then another way is bar graph. You have learned, you know how to plot a bar graph using x-axis, y-axis, how to take the scale and then plot the graphs according to the what data given to you. Then you have also learned in double bar graph. This double bar graph you have studied in class 7th last year. Double bar graph, what is the use basically? Double bar graph helps to give the information, two information at the same time. That means if there is one bar graph, you can give two sets of information simultaneously. For that, double bar graph is used. So these three graphs you are very much familiar. You are also familiar with the tally marks. How the data was given, how you were organizing the data, and with the help of tally marks, you were calculating the frequency. So we will proceed with the same concept of tally mark and new additional concept you will be learning related to tally marks. Now organizing a data, I start with one example. Now suppose the marks of 10 students are given and they are given as follows. So I have taken only 10 students, mainly tally marks, and represented this in the tabular form using tally marks. Tally marks are very much useful in organizing or grouping the data when the data is very large. So when you get the data in such a way, this is called as raw data. Raw data, you have just obtained it randomly. And when you organize the data either in ascending order or descending order, that is called as arrayed data. Means you are systematically arranging the data. Now looking at this data, I am arranging this in the tabular form. Using what? I am using tally marks. So you know how to do it. I will take marks obtained. I will draw table like this. Marks obtained, tally marks and number of students. So this table will help me to find that how many students have got 2 marks, 11, 12, 13 and up to 46. So here number of students is nothing but you can call it as frequency. This is called frequency and I am arranging in the tabular form using tally mark. You know it very well how to do it. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 and then this is 5. In this way we have studied the tally marks. So and whatever after tally mark, whatever number you are getting, that is called frequency. So I have already arranged this marks obtained in ascending order. So how many I have obtained? 2. That is, you can see here, it is 1. So telemark. 11 is also 1. Then 12 is also 1. 13, 26, actually this is all telemark. Then 29, you can see this is 2. 33, 45 and 46. Yes, a very small data I have taken just to understand the further concept what you will be learning. Now if I see 2 you get only 1 mark, then that means if the number of students is 1, and this all is called frequency. Then 11 it is 1. 12 it is also 1. 13 is also 1. 26 is 1. 29 2. 11 1 1 1. This is 2. 11 12. 13. 26 is 1. 29 is 1. 33 2. 45 46. So if I count it now, if I make the total, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 8 9 10. So I got 10. So number of students are 10. So such type of table is called frequency distribution table. So 1 minute, I will look it here. So this table is called as frequency distribution table. Now, if I want to arrange this data in another way, this same thing marks obtained if I consider some group. Suppose I am distributing I am giving, instead of writing this, I will consider some group. Now same table I am representing in another way. As you can see here, it is groups, telemarks, frequency. So groups I have made as 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. Now in this representation, I will see in this group 0 to 10, how many are there. So how many are there between 0 to 10? That is 2, nothing. So I will write here only 1. 1 is there, telemark 1. Between the group 0 to 10, how many are there? Only 2 is there, that is 1. Now 10 to 20, how many are there? This is 1, 12, then 13. Yes, now I will consider another group, that is 20 to 30. So 20 to 30, it is 20 to 30, it is 1, 2, then 30 to 40, you can see it is only 33, it is 1. Now 40 to 50, 45 and 46. So these are the telemarks. So instead of writing these marks, I have taken the groups. And suppose I have taken this is not necessary that it should be 0 to 10 only. You can take 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, anything. So this is also called class. This is class 0 to 10, but always we have to see here the difference should be same. It should be uniform. If you are taking 0 to 10, here it should be 10 to 20. Difference should be always 10. Then 20 to 30, 10. 30 to 40 also difference should be 10. So I will just take the frequency 1, 3, 3, 1, 2. Yes, here total is 10. So here you are representing the data, but you are placing the data in groups. So if I consider this 0 to 10, all these are called class. And if you take for example 0 to 10, this is called as lower limit. This is called as lower limit, and 10 if you call, this is called as upper limit. And the difference between these two is called as class interval. Now what is the class interval or class size? Class size. 0 to 10, the size is 10 because the difference is 10. So these are the difference groups or classes you have arranged and data you have placed in that group. So therefore this is called as grouped frequency distribution table. This is only frequency distribution table. You are using groups here. Therefore it is called as grouped frequency distribution table. These are the classes. Among this class or among these groups, here it is called as lower limit. This is called as upper limit. And what is the size of the class? If anybody is asking, that means size of the class is upper limit minus lower limit. So if you can see everywhere, the size is same only. Difference is same. 10 minus 0 is 10. 20 minus 10 is 10. Again 10, 10 and 10. So in this chapter, the new thing is that you are placing your data in some groups, right? And finding out the frequency. And the table used to find the frequency or used for representing the data is called here grouped distribution, grouped frequency distribution table. These are the classes. This is called lower limit, upper limit. Difference between the two, upper limit minus lower limit, is called class size. So I can write here class size is equal to upper limit minus lower limit. Now we have to see how to represent this data when it is given in this groups form or in group frequency distribution table, how to represent this data in graphs. Okay. Now for your better understanding, I will give you one example which is given in your textbook itself, that is page number 74. Question 2, try this. If you understand this, question 1, you will automatically you can do it. Data is given, you have to answer in textbook itself. Now here the question is, construct a frequency distribution table for the data on weights in kg of 20 students of a class using intervals 30 to 35, 35 to 40 and so on. So here they have given that you have to use the class intervals. I was always explaining you that they are called class. You can also call class intervals. I have explained you that lower limit, upper limit, class size. Class size is the difference between two. I have told you these are called class, or you can say class interval. Same thing, classes or class interval. This is lower limit, upper limit. Difference between the upper and lower is class size. So you can also call as class interval. Right? Now here they have given one hint that if you want to arrange this data, use the class intervals 30 to 35, 35 to 40. You can say classes also or class intervals, no problem. So this hint they have given. So in this way and so on means you up depending upon the maximum number, I will arrange it. Right? So I think the maximum is here 65. Right? So now I have arranged these intervals in this way. I want to find the frequency or the number of the students. Right? So using group distribution data. Now here, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 40 I have arranged. Now question should arise. I think every student the question must have arisen. Now suppose the data is 35. So where it will be placed? In this class or this class? Now my question is, if your data is 35, will you arrange in 30 to 35 or 35 to 40? It should be only in one class. It should not be repeated. So the answer is, if suppose it is 35, if the data comes like that, it should be arranged in this class only. That is 35 to 40 and not 30 to 35. Right? So here the same thing is here. Here last is 65. इसमें जो last number है वो 65 है. अब मैं 65 को अगर मुझे अरेंज करना है तो मैं 60 to 65 में ये 65 आएगा नहीं. मुझे इसके लिए और एक क्लास लेना पड़ेगा, that is 65 to 70. 65 to 70. अगर मेरा डेटा है सपोज 35, तो मेरा 35 अगर डेटा मुझे कोई भी क्लास में प्लेस करना है तो वो 30 to 35 में भी आ सकता है, 35 to 40 में भी आ सकता है. इट कैन गो एनीवेयर, बट यू शुड नॉट डू इट ट्वाइस. इसमें भी डाल रहे हो और इसमें भी डाल रहे हो, ऐसा करना नहीं है. It will come only in this second where 35 is the lower limit. So there only it will come. Right? So these are in this way, this rule you have to keep in mind. Do not repeat the data. If it is the case, go to the second one where this is the lower limit. Right? Clear? Class intervals is clear. These are groups or class interval, you can say. You can take it as class also. This is lower limit, upper limit. Difference between these two is called class size of the class interval, or you can say class size itself. Right? These three things are very important in this. As they have given, इन्होंने दिया है हिंट कि आपको ये क्लास इंटरवल यूज करने हैं, इसके लिए ये यूज किया है, नहीं तो आप आपके हिसाब से भी यूज कर सकते हो. अभी मुझे देखना है डेटा दिया हुआ, डेटा इज गिवन. 40 कहां पे आएगा? 40 will come here. Then I will, this is done. Then 38. 38 will come in which class? Here. Now 33 will come where? Yes, here. Now 48 कहाँ पे आएगा? इधर. 60 यहाँ भी आ सकता है, यहाँ भी आ सकता है. So 60, as I told, it will come there. 60. Now 53. Now 31. 46. 34. 36. 49. 41. 55. अभी 55 यहाँ भी आएगा, यहाँ भी आएगा. कहाँ पे लोगे? Second one, where this is the lower limit. 49. 65. यहाँ भी आएगा, यहाँ भी आएगा. Where you will take? 65 here. Now 42. Over. 44. Where it will come? Here. 47. 38. 39. Over. In this way, put the tally mark. Now, I will calculate the frequency. This is 3, 4, 4, 5, 1, 1, 1, 1. So 7, 11, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. If I calculate, these are the weight of number of students. These are the weights. So how many number of students it should come? 20. So 3 plus 4, 7, 11, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That means it is right. So I have arranged in groups. So it becomes easy to place the data. That is the advantage of it. Right? So in this way I have placed in the grouped frequency distribution table. Question 1 is also simple. If you look at this, nothing is there. Class size, lower limit, upper limit. Only based on that you have to answer it. Yes. Now another important topic, how to represent these class intervals with frequency on graph paper. So the method used or the way used is histogram. So what is histogram? This is very new for you. Histogram is a type of bar diagram where the class intervals are shown on the horizontal axis and the heights of the bar shows the frequency of the intervals. Now what is the difference between simple bar graph and this histogram bar graph? Bar graph we will representing x-axis and y-axis was there. Here also x-axis and y-axis. You will take some numbers here and frequency. Here it will be frequency here, that is, and here on x-axis that will be class or groups. Class intervals or groups on x-axis, that is histogram, and in y-axis it will be frequency. So the difference between simple bar graph and histogram is what? In simple bar graph, in x-axis there will be simple numbers. It will be like this. And in histogram, here it will be class intervals or class groups. Right? So here you can see the data will be always like this. There will be no space. There will be no space. In simple bar graph, there is always space between the two bars. In histogram, you will find no space between the two bars. Here on x-axis will represent the different class intervals, right? So and here there will be just numbers or whatever the data you have to represent. Yes, so looking at one example, you will understand what is histogram. So it is just a type of bar diagram. Only in x-axis it will be class interval, that is histogram, and y-axis it will be frequency. Right? Now we will see how you are plotting a histogram. Now the following table represents the marks obtained out of 50 by 20 students. Prepare a histogram. So here marks are given in form of interval, class interval, or you can tell it is groups. And this is number of students. So 0 to 10 there are 2 students, here 3 students, 6, 5, 4. So this number of students are nothing but you call as frequency. So this is number of students. You have plotted in y-axis, and x-axis here you are taking marks or groups or class interval. Same as the bar graph, you are taking, you have to take scale. 1 centimeter equal to 5 marks, that is x-axis. Y-axis it is 1 centimeter equal to 1 student. This scale we have taken, and we have taken, this is 0 to 10, one class, 0 to 20, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. So you are plotting, there is no you can see between the two bar there is no space left. Just they are connected to each other. So 0 to 10 it is number of students are 2. So we have marked as 2 here. 10 to 20 it is 3. So 10 to 20 it is 3. 20 to 30 6. Then 5 and then 4. This is called as histogram, where I have explained this definition. You have to write in your notebook, and what I have explained previously, I have explained one example of frequency distribution table, that also you have to write in your notebook. It was from Try This. So this is histogram, how it is plotted, what is the difference between simple bar graph and histogram. I have explained. Histogram is also plotted on bar graph paper. So your exercise 5.1 will be based on this only. You have to plot in bar graph itself. You need graph paper, right? So we will be proceeding with these concepts only, that is histogram, class groups, class intervals, everything. Yes. So students, you have to, especially with math subject, my advice is to do that itself, that work, whatever teacher is explaining you, that day itself you must write in your notebook. Whatever is the doubt, please ask me, please comment it. You can ask anytime and contact me or comment it, right? Thank you.